Ever feel that weird, unnerving shake when you hit the gas? You just know something's off, right? Well, today, we're going to figure out exactly what it is.
It's such a specific problem, isn't it? You're just coasting along, everything's smooth as silk. But the second you press that accelerator, the whole car starts to vibrate. That right there, that's the key clue, and it tells us a whole lot about where to start looking.
So, let's play detective here. We're going to go through this step by step, starting with the most common culprits and working our way down to the more unusual suspects. By the end of this, you'll have a really good idea of what's happening with your car. All right, so where's the first place we should look? Well, when you've got a shake that only shows up when you're accelerating, 9 times out of 10, the problem is somewhere in the drivetrain.
And what's the drivetrain? It's basically the whole system that gets the power from your engine down to the wheels to make the car actually move. We're talking about axles, drive shafts, all those moving parts that are really put to the test when you step on it.
Okay, now here's the first big clue. The most likely cause actually depends on your car. You gotta know, is it front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive? Because if you have a front-wheel drive car, we're probably looking at a bad CV axle. But if it's rear-wheel drive, the number one suspect is a bad U-joint.
So, for all you front-wheel drive owners, here's what you need to do. Listen. Do you hear a clicking or ticking sound when you make a turn, or maybe a clunk when you pop it into reverse? The real smoking gun, though, is to take a peek behind your front wheels. If you see a mess of dark grease splattered everywhere, that's it. That means the little rubber boot covering the axle joint is toast, and that's your problem.
All right, now for all your rear-wheel drive folks, your clues are a little different. A bad U-joint, well, it likes to announce itself. You'll often hear this loud clunk sound right when you take off from a stop. And that shaking, it's just going to get more intense the faster you drive. So really listen for that clunk when you first hit the gas.
Okay, so let's say you've checked out the CV axles or U-joints and they seem fine. Where do we go next? Well, our investigation is about to get a little broader. There are a few other things that can give you that same shaky feeling.
I know it sounds almost too simple, but you absolutely have to check your wheels and tires. Did you hit a nasty pothole recently? You could have a bent rim. And unbalanced tires, another huge one. But that shake usually shows up only at specific speeds, like maybe around 50 or 60 miles per hour. And this is super important. Check your lug nuts. Seriously, especially if you just got your tires rotated or changed. A loose wheel is no joke.
All right, what's next on our list? Let's talk about engine and transmission mounts. You know, these are the heavy-duty rubber blocks that bolt your engine and transmission to the frame of the car. They're supposed to keep everything locked down. So, what do you think happens when they go bad? Well, when a mount is shot, that massive engine is no longer held in place properly. So, when you hit the gas, all that torque makes the whole engine and transmission physically jump or lurch inside the engine bay. And you feel that. You feel it as a big shake or a thud. It's literally throwing everything out of whack for a second.
But hey, the good news is there's a really easy way to check this yourself. You'll need a friend for this. Pop the hood, have your friend get in, start the car, and hold the brake pedal down really, really firmly. Then, have them just briefly shift into drive and give it a tiny bit of gas. Watch the engine. It's going to move a little, that's normal, but if you see it make a huge jump or lurch, bingo, that's a bad mount.
So we've gone through all the big, common causes. But what if you've checked everything so far and you're still scratching your head? Don't worry, there are a couple of less common culprits we can look at.
Sometimes the shake you're feeling isn't coming from a wobbly part, but from the engine itself. Like if you have a bad engine misfire, it can feel like the whole car is shuddering. Same goes for some internal transmission issues. But here's the big difference. These kinds of problems are almost always going to light up that dreaded check engine light on your dash. And speaking of that check engine light, finding out what it means is actually super easy these days. You can buy a little gadget called an OBD2 scanner for like 20 bucks. You just plug it in under the dash and it tells you exactly what's wrong. Or, even better, just drive to pretty much any auto parts store and they'll usually scan it for you for free.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, from prime suspects to the less common stuff. So now, let's pull it all together into a simple roadmap you can follow.
Here's your action plan, step by step. 1. Know if you're driving a front-wheel or rear-wheel drive car. That's key. 2. Use your ears. Listen for those specific clicking or clunking sounds. 3. Use your eyes. Get out and look for grease, check for loose lug nuts or a bent wheel. 4. Do that engine mount test. And 5, if you're still stuck, get the computer scanned for any error codes. If you go through this list, you're going to get really, really close to finding the problem.
Look, that shake when you accelerate, it's more than just annoying.
It's your car trying to tell you something. It's a clear signal that a part is failing and needs your attention. And by paying attention to these clues, you can catch a small issue before it turns into something way more expensive or even dangerous. So the real question is, what's your car trying to tell you?